So guys, I have my fabric here and I have my tape rule and the black material that I'll be using for the neck. So let's get started. I'm going to fold my fabric into 4 places. Guys, please, I want to apologize. When I was doing this video, I forgot that there was no chalk in the house, so I had to use a marker. So guys, I've folded my fabric into 4 places. I folded my fabric into 4 places because I'm going to be cutting the front and the back together. So in this place that you don't have any opening, that's where we are going to use as our shoulder measurement. So I'm going to draw a straight line here first that will serve as my shoulder measurement. That's the first thing I'm doing. I'm going to draw a straight line. Then from there, I'm going to measure my bust point. My bust point is 10 inches. I'm going to come down by 10 inches. That's for my bust. Then from there, I'm going to measure my shoulder. I'm going to measure my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 16 divided by 2, that is 8 inches, plus half an inch allowance, that's 8.5. My shoulder is 16 divided by 2, that is 8 inches plus half an inch allowance. 16 divided by 2, that's 8. Now I'm going to measure how long my sleeve will be. So I'll add additional 8 inches to it. That's for the length of my sleeve. I'm going to add additional 8 inches to it. Mind you, I'm still going to add an additional 2-inch black material to it to make it longer. So now on my bust point, which is 10 inches, I have my bust point here, which is 10 inches. Now I'm going to mark my armhole. My armhole is 8 inches. Then I can come down by 1 inch or 2 for sewing allowance. Let me come down by an inch. 10 inches plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So I'm going to connect it. I'm going to connect it with the 10 inches. 10 inches sewing allowance. And now I'm going to measure my bust. My bust is, I'm going to measure my bust divided by 4. 40 divided by 4, that's 10. And I'm going to add more to make it free. You know it's going to be a kaftan. So I'm going to add more. I'm going to add like 2 to 3 inches. So I'm just going to bring it down. I'm just going to bring it down.
Mom, give me the ruler. Please. Please. Ah.
Don't show. Leave this thing away from the camera. Ah, God.
Sorry.
Take it to the kitchen.
Okay. I'll take it to the kitchen.
So guys, this is what I have for the front and the back. So first of all, I'm going to separate the front from the back. That's the first thing. I'm going to separate the front from the back. So I'm going to mark out my neck. My neck is 2.5 inches. My neck is 2.5 inches. Stop making that noise now. Get away from here. Why are you making noise and playing with stick? That is going to be. So I'm going to mark out my neck from the shoulder. Remember, I folded the front and the back together. So right now, I want to mark out my neck. The neck is 4 inches. The neck is... Michelle, you are just giving me a headache. Any your destiny one living but me ò lọ síbẹ̀. Ó kàn fún mi ní headache ń bí báyìí. Go now, you kò wá bọ́ síwájú camera ń bí báyìí fún mi.
Yeah, I will knock you inside.
Ha! Èmi wọn ló ń dúró síwájú fídíò ló ń happy ẹ̀. I'll beat you.
I will take you inside. I will lock you inside now. Yeah, drop that thing. Drop it.
So next, I'm going to mark out my neck. I'm going to mark out my neck. The neck width is 2.5 inches. The width of my neck is 2.5 inches. The width of my neck is 2.5 inches. So I'm going to slant my shoulder by 1 inch. So I want to slant the shoulder by 1 inch. And then I trace it. First of all, this is what I have. Now, I'm going to open this side to separate my front and my back. Yes. So guys, I'm going to cut the neck. Remember, I have my front and my back piece all together. My front and my back piece all together. So I'm going to cut the neck. It's time to cut our neck now. Here I'm going to mark 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches for my neck width. I'm cutting the back first. Then for the depth, I'm going to mark 1.5 inches for the depth. Then I curve it. I trace it round, as you can see here, and I curve it. First of all, I'm going to cut the front and the back together, just as you can see. Then I remove the back. So I want to work with the front now. I'm going to go in by an extra 1.5 inches for the front. An extra 1.5 inches for the front. Then for the depth, I'm going to go in by 6 inches or 6.5. Let me use 6.5 inches. Now, from this depth, I'm also going to come in by 1 inch. Although this is a V-neck, but it will have something like this at the down. Then I'm going to trace it with my ruler. I'm just going to trace it this way. So now it's time to cut. So guys, after cutting, this is what I have for the front. This this is what I have for the front. It's like a v-neck, but it has something like this in the middle. This is what I have for the front after cutting it out. And this is my back. This is my back. This is my back. So I'm going to go ahead now and bring the black material that I'm going to use to fill in this place. So here are my black materials that will be fitting into the neck. I have 2 inches. If from here to here, I have 2 inches. So I'm going to go now and join it like this. I'm going to sew it like this. I'm going to sew it this way with half an inch. So that after sewing it with half an inch, the remaining ones here will be 1.5 inches. The 1.5 inches that I removed the other time. Then I'm also going to take this other fabric. I'm going to sew it this way as well from the right side with half an inch so that I can turn it in. Now we'll head over to the machine now to sew it. Here is it. After joining it with half an inch, here is what I have, and I joined the other side too. Here is what I have. So right now, what I'm going to do right now, after joining those 2 sides, what I'm going to do right now is to notch this place. As you can see, look at this place. I want to notch it, the 2 places. I'm going to notch it like this so that you can see it properly. I'm going to notch it this way. Can you see? In fact, it is getting too much. Then I will notch it this way as well. Can you see? Can you see what I did? I notched the 2 places. So right now, what I'm going to do now is to bring them in. I'm going to bring it in like this. Like this. And I'm bringing the other one in as well. Like this. I'm bringing them in like this. To make a V shape here. Can we see it? This is what I'm trying to achieve. I'm bringing it in this way. Like this and like this. To make a perfect V shape. This way. So I'm going to turn it over to the other side so that I can pin it. Or I pin it first from this side so that it will not move. So I'm pinning it now. I don't want it to move. Let me pin this side together. Yes, I don't want it to move. So now I'm going to turn it to the other side. Like this. Then I pin it. Then I'm going to pin it. I'm going to pin it this way. I'm going to pin it. I'm going to pin it this way. If you notice, you will see that I overlapped it here. It was an overlap. So I'm going to pin it. Then I will go ahead to the sewing machine and I will sew it this way. I'm going to sew it this way. Can we see it? I'm going to sew it this way, like this. So guys, this is what I have. This is what I have now. After sewing it, this is what I have for the neck. As you can see, I'm going to iron it and give it a good press so that all these fabrics will relax. But for now, this is what I have. Then I'm turning it over to the other side. Can you see? So I'm going to cut off the excess that I have here. I'm going to cut him off. So basically that's all for the front neckline. For the neck, I'm done with the front neckline basically. So this is what I have. Then for the back, I'm going to get a black bias. So I'm going to sew it and turn it in. The back is so easy. I'm going to get a black bias and I'm going to sew it in and turn it to the other side. Then after that, I'm going to join my shoulder. As you can see, the shoulder is equal. I'm going to join my shoulder and join the other shoulder. I'll be right back. So guys, I've gone to tape the back as well. So the next thing for me to do now is to place them right side to right side on top of each other. I will place them right side to right side on top of each other. Then I will go and join the shoulder this way with half an inch. I will join the other side also with half an inch. I will join the other shoulder with half an inch also. Then after that, I'll be right back. I want to add this black material to the sleeve as well. So let me join this shoulder and this shoulder first. Then when I come, we are going to add this black material to the sleeve as well. So guys, I've gone to join the two shoulders together with half an inch. So here is the material, the black material that I'm going to use to tape the sleeve, the two sleeves. I will use this black material to tape it. When I fold it this way, it is 2 inches this way, 2 inches. So I'm going to use half an inch to sew it round just like I did here, and the 1.5 inches will be for the sleeve. So I want to go now and tape the both sides. So guys, this is what I have. After sewing it, this is what I have. This is what I have. I've gone to join it. So right now I'm going to go ahead and trim it this way to make it equal, and then after that I'm going to join the sides. I will make it equal, then I will join the sides from here with half an inch down, and the other side also with half an inch down. That's basically all for this style. Then I'm going to, after joining it down, then I'm going to tape this other hand with half an inch, but I will join the two sides first together with the hand, with the sleeve.